everyone. Welcome to Encinas Unfiltered. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe. You can also check out our website, which is www.EncinasUnfiltered.com. There you can see the 3 shows that we have. This is the second. There's only 2 more episodes. This episode and 1 more for the Super Bowl, and now we're done with the Fantasy Football Podcast until next football season, which will start back up in August. We have our interviews, and then we have the Unfiltered Breakdown, where Steven and I break down fights. Today, we have the NFL Conference Championships, AFC, NFC. There's only 2 games. Hopefully it'll be short. I say that every episode, and it's never short at all. It's always like an hour. But there's only 2 games to talk about, and 2 games to go over the betting odds about. And I do have some fun stuff planned at the end that I'm sure X will be very set off about. That's kind of been our thing lately, is just to set off X at the very end of the show for all the clickbait. But I will say we are taking applications for a segment for next year, which is going to be the Delusional Cowboys fan. Right now I have 2 applicants. I don't know the boy Colby down here. I don't know how delusional he is. He doesn't really seem too delusional.
Not
maybe some of his hot takes with
He's
the Lions.
logical.
But with all that being said, I think Angel takes the cake. And if you're not sure who Angel is, we talk about him quite a bit. He's also very much in the comments. I'll just kind of share a little tidbit, which I shared with him before we started recording. He believes that the Cowboys will go 14-3 with Deion Sanders as their head coach. So Don't worry, we bet on lunch for it. So I'm about to get a good lunch if they sign Deion Sanders as their coach.
You just got a free lunch, dude.
He bet me. I didn't even initiate that.
Oh wow. Okay. Yeah, well, don't ever ask him for parlays or anything, dude.
No, never. That's why he doesn't do it. That's why he's not on here. So today we're gonna go do a recap of the divisional playoffs, just very quickly. We're going to get into the betting for the games, talk about a little bit of the games, get into some little delusional things that I've heard over the weekend and week, just because it's fun. But let's just kind of go back. So, Houston, Kansas City won 23-14. I mean, not surprised. Yeah, the refs kind of helped them. There's a lot of controversy now.
Not
Stephen A was over there saying that, there's
not
things.
Kind of.
What?
Not kind
of.
They
did help them. Yeah, they did help them. I mean, things that shouldn't have happened. That's been coming more
apparent,
very more prominent, and I think people are starting to realize it. I mean, a lot of people realize it, but hey, you got to have Taylor Swift at the Super Bowl, so that's my conspiracy theory now.
Yep.
I mean, for the most part, I think it was a very straightforward game. It was good. It wasn't nothing too crazy, kind of low scoring, but I was expecting the Chiefs to win. I think we all were. So, am I good to move on?
Yeah, there's not much.
Okay. Next game, Baltimore-Buffalo.
Bullshit.
So it was a good game, but I was hoping for more, if that makes sense. Like, I was hoping for more. I know that the weather kind of played a factor into it. Josh Allen is that guy, though. He is the MVP, in my opinion. He's just proven that he is the best player on his team, and he's literally carried his team to this point. Nothing against his running back, nothing against his receivers, and nothing against his defense, because his defense did step up and save him there. But
no,
Josh Allen's MVP.
Mark Andrews.
I'm just saying,
saved him.
I mean,
well, okay, so Mark Andrews is the Bills MVP.
That's what I was about to say.
Dude, Lamar fumbled the interception. Lamar had a bad game, man.
It's definitely a team effort for sure, but Andrews just happened to be the guy to screw it up last. That's all it was.
Yeah.
I think it was just a lot of factors, man.
Oh,
to me, it's like, even Lamar said it. Lamar's like, I had to be better, and he wasn't. Those 2 costly turnovers on him is deadly in a playoff game.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So, but it was a good game. Don't get me wrong. It was a great game. I was enjoying watching it, but I was hoping for more offense, more explosive. But like I said, I think the weather did play a factor into it, and it's what it is.
I was hoping for more. I think it sucks. Like, I feel bad for Andrews because that's shitty. I think as any player, especially like us that have played sports, if you lost a game because you were the last one to screw it up, bro, that hurts. That's tough, dude. That's really tough. And that sucks. That sucks for anybody to go through. So, heart goes out to the boy.
I just don't think all the blame should be placed on him, though.
No,
I understand the situation.
I don't think so either. But when it comes down to that thing of the team sport where, you want the ball in your hands. You want to be the guy that did it, right? And when you're the guy that doesn't do it, it kind of sucks. Like, obviously, yes, we know It happens every single game. Somebody screwed up somewhere down the line. Some lineman missed their block. Some quarterback threw a bad throw. Some wide receiver didn't run the route. They dropped a pass. Whatever the case may be. Some defensive guy missed a tackle. But when it's on center stage like that, and then nonetheless, you're open to make that touchdown, to make that 2-point conversion, to tie it up, go into OT, get ready for another round of boxing, essentially, and you screw it up. Like, that hurts more than those incomplete passes, more than Lamar screwing it up, okay? It hurts that much more. And that's what everybody's going to focus on. And it sucks.
I think, they're going to focus on it, and they are, but I think in the moment, yes, that's the thing. But,
Right.
I like what Lamar said afterwards, which was, no, we were all doing bad, and I had those 2 turnovers, and we could have been in a different position. Rather than going for 2, they could have just kicked an extra point.
And that I actually have, like, that actually gave me a lot of respect for Lamar, because you have, Malik Nabers that's over there blaming his whole team.
Neighbors.
You got Addison that's
Can
over
you
there.
blame Neighbors, though?
What? Hey,
can you blame him?
Regardless.
He's on the Giants, bro.
Bro, I don't care.
They're terrible.
I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. Lamar, every single year is thrown into an MVP candidate. Every single year. He could have easily have just been like, yeah, our tight end that didn't do shit all fucking season screwed us. He could have said that, and he would have been valid on it. But no, as a leader, as a mature individual, and as a show of his character, he was like, no, you know what, dude? That was not on my boy. That wasn't on a player. That was me. That was us as a whole. Where Malik Neighbors, Addison, Tyreek Hill, they all just want to go and blame everybody else. But, well, I'm not as involved. It's their fault.
A lot of receivers. A lot of receivers are divas, though.
I know, dude. That's the. But regardless, it is what it is.
No,
Colby, got anything to add?
I think the MVP race would be a little differently if Mark Andrews catches that pass. They go into overtime.
That's fair.
Ravens win. Right now, we'd be saying Lamar.
Maybe win.
We'd be saying
win.
Josh Allen can't win a playoff game. Lamar Jackson's MVP. So I think that game just solidified one of them too for sure.
Yeah.
That's fair. So the next game, which I think Colby's going to love to talk about here, is Washington versus Detroit. Detroit had that bye week. They went, played at home against the Washington team, Commanders. Don't get me wrong. Jaden Daniels is good, and I will say that. He is good.
Yes.
Has a rookie quarterback went to the Super Bowl and won? No. That's not one in the rookie year. But I will say what I've been saying all year long is Detroit's defense not having 10 starters. They caught up to him finally. I mean, and that's essentially what happened.
Yeah.
All those injuries, Branch being the only guy out there that's still there from the starting squad. It's like, hey, I mean, and they lost because Washington simply just scored more points than them. And it's really came down to defense. Washington's defense isn't anything crazy or anything spectacle. Like, it's not a spectacle to watch. They're just very average. People can score on them. But Jaden Daniels figured it out. He also hasn't thrown an interception in the playoffs, which I do think is impressive. So I will give him his flowers in that. But I think, unfortunately, Detroit, it happened. Upset was written all over it. I think all of us were like, we just don't see this happening.
No.
But I think, unfortunately, those injuries just caught up to him. And as a result of that, Ben Johnson's in Chicago, Glenn's now in New York as a Jet. Like, their teams kind of get blown up. I don't think I see them as a 1 seed next year, but I just think they still have a very good team.
Oh, yeah.
In general, and I don't necessarily think their coordinators. I mean, the coordinators did play a role, but I don't think it's going to be crazy significant where they're like not going to make playoffs again. So I've been seeing some things where people are like, oh, they're going to be terrible. It's like, no, they're still going to be great. Like, that's not going to be a question. But whether or not they're in the 1 seed, I don't think so. I think they still make playoffs next year, probably as like in a wild card spot. X.
For me, I think it sucks. I think if I was a Lions player, I would be very upset because you definitely had the squad. You had the squad to make it, dude. You 100% did. I think we all knew that. And like you said, if they had a healthy team, easily they would have skated into that Super Bowl. in my opinion.
Right.
I 100% would have said that they were the ones. I wouldn't have even questioned Philly making any type of chance at them. But unfortunately, you know, that's just how it works, and it sucks. And I hope, you know, even with the coordinator losses, that, you know, they could still keep the momentum, keep everything they got going, and hopefully they can retain enough players, add some new ones, and just get it going from there. But I mean, we'll see. And I feel really bad for the boys, honestly.
Right. Colby, anything to add?
I feel pretty bad. You know, not only for myself,
You
but
jinxed
for them.
him, Colby.
And
You jinxed him
so bad. But one thing I do want to talk about, I don't know if a lot of people talk about it, is how much time do you guys think the OC, the DC, instead of thinking about the Commanders, you know, their game plan, taking head coaching interviews, thinking about where they're going to go, looking at houses, their wives saying, like, where do you want to go? You don't see the Chiefs OC or DC doing that. I mean, I don't know much about their OC and DC.
Or anything. We're going to leave, so.
Yeah, but you just don't see them head coaching jobs over social media. I don't know. I think they should have waited until after all this is over.
The one thing I do want to mention is there is a stipulation in every coaching staff's contract that they cannot take interviews. They can't even talk to another team until their season is over. Now, do I think
some do it?
Right, some do. Actually against the rules. That's why you got the whole collusion thing. You got all that going on. And so that's why, for example, it happened with a player, right? It happened in Atlanta with Kirk Cousins. That was a thing that happened with the Vikings, right? So the same goes with coaching. The coaching's the same way. Do I think that what Colby said was right? 100%. I think that they were.
Oh, yeah.
I think that collusion was happening. I think that those talks were happening. And I think I'm not going to say that it 100% affected, you know, their ability to do their coordinator job, all those types of things. But do I think it played a small bit of a distraction? Yes. And obviously that, in my opinion, right, because we're not behind the scenes, we're not them.
So if I was a player, I heard my coaches taking reviews and all this stuff, I'd probably be a little, I don't know how to explain it, but I'd be like, man, wish you would walk in, focus up a little bit for this week. So that's all I got to say about it. It just feels bad for them, but at the same time, they'll figure it out.
But at the same time, we got to give credit to Washington, you know?
Yeah, for
absolutely.
Sure. Definitely.
They played good ball.
Dan Quinn's the head coach, right?
Yep.
Yep.
He went in there and handled business, and it is what it is. So the last game is the LA Rams versus Philly. You know, your boy said he's a Philly fan since week 13. Not forever, just, you know, for fantasy football. And they're playing the Rams, you know. Bevel has a little heat here on the show, so he's a Rams fan too, so you don't have to throw an extra little jab in there. So that game was actually pretty good. I thought LA was going to come clutch it up at the end. Snow did play a factor and a lot, and some key fumbles, and Jalen Hurts got hurt. Doesn't look good. His average is like 134 passing yards a game in the playoffs, so it's pretty abysmal. But they have the X factor, the best running back in football as of right now for this year, Saquon Barkley. Kind of carried that game, in my opinion, and their defense did step up as well against a team that has been to the Super Bowl before. And to me, it was a really good game. Philly was the right choice, and I do think Philly has a great matchup heading into the Super Bowl. Any comments, X?
This one's kind of. We all knew this one was coming, so I think in all honesty, I think Philly's, like you said, I'm not going to say they're guaranteed, but they have a very favorable matchup.
Right. Colby?
You know, I thought the Rams had him for a little bit. I thought they were going to do it. And I was like, come on here.
Oh, that's right. He said last week, he's like, the Rams, the upset.
So, we'll see. Yeah.
Hey, dude.
You know what they say, right? Wish in one hand, shit in the other, and see which one fills up faster. So, anyways. All right, so now we're going to get into the odds. Actually, you know what? I'm going to throw up a picture because I think that'll be fun. How about that? All right. We got Commanders versus Eagles. Eagles are favored by 6. The total is 47.5. I'm taking Eagles at -6. I'm going over on the total because I think both teams can score 24 points. What do you got?
I'm going to take Eagles going under.
I know I'm 0-2 right now for upsets.
Attaboy.
I'm about to be 1-2. Commanders, but I'm going to take the under.
So you're going Commanders now.
All right.
All of a sudden, one take, you switch it all, huh? You switch it all.
Yep.
Next game, Buffalo Bills versus Kansas City. Kansas City is only favored by 2. Fun fact, the Bills have beat Kansas City. But have they beat Kansas City in Kansas City? No, I'm taking Chiefs at -2. The total's 47.5. I'm taking the under on that.
This one's going to be my upset. I think everybody's on to the NFL. I think the NFL is going to cave to the pressure. And I think they're actually going to have those refs help the Bills pull this upset off. But I am going to go under. I don't think it's going to be a very high-scoring game. Normally, when the Chiefs play a game, it's not very high-scoring. But I still think that the NFL is going to reach its greedy hands in there and pull out the upset with Buffalo.
I'm going to take Chiefs, and I'll take the under as well. Chiefs are going to probably take it, unfortunately.
All right. So, well, I guess I can leave this up still. So let's just talk about the games a little bit. So, I mean, we just went over the betting odds for them, but like I said, you got Philly versus Washington. Washington's playing in Philadelphia. I heard this argument, and I just kind of want to bring it up. So, the Eagles lost to the Commanders in the second time that they played. Caveat, I think that's either when Jalen got his concussion.
It was.
And Kenny Pickett came in, and they almost lost to Kenny Pickett by 3. So the score was 36-33.
Yeah.
And there's a guy at work who is hardcore Commanders fan. He still calls them the Redskins. That's how you know how hardcore he is.
And I respect him for
He's
that.
very adamant about it, and that's all cool. But I just like to say, yeah, you guys lost, or the Commanders lost by 3 to a backup quarterback who, I don't know what his situation is as far as like if he's a free agent or not. But I just think that with Saquon, even though Saquon did play that game, and I think with Jalen and him, I think he's getting a shot for his knee. So I just really do think that Philly is going to be able to get the job done by running the ball. And if for some reason running the ball isn't going to like if it doesn't pan out the way they want it, they have 2 very good weapons on the outside. And Devontae Smith, who's very fast, and A.J. Brown, who's a top 10 receiver any given year. So, X, what do you got for that game?
This one for me, I don't got a lot really for. I think Philly's the better team, and I don't see any reason why Philly should lose this. And if they do, then they're an absolute joke of a team. Just simple as that.
Colby?
Yes, I'm pulling up some other games right now.
Oh, why is his head down?
Why is it not? Where's it at? I know we can clip this. Hold on.
Oh man, I was gonna have to make you edit here for a second. I was about to
What were you gonna
something.
say?
No, I had this freaking. All right, so they played November 14th the first time. Jaden Daniels did throw an interception. Then Jalen Hurts had one of those like 220-yard games. So now they're flipped.
Good for him.
Jaden Daniels has thrown an interception. Jalen Hurts is throwing under 150. So yeah, I think that's one of the reasons why I think Commanders may have a chance to upset it. And I think it's going to take Jalen Hurts throwing the ball. So if he throws the ball well, they'll probably win. If he doesn't, then the Commanders might take it from him.
Might be wishful thinking, but we will see. We will see. So the next game, Buffalo versus Kansas City. I mean, I think what? Colby and I went Kansas City?
Yep.
Right? And then X over here decided to be the Lone Ranger and doing his own thing.
Let's do it, boys.
Nothing against the hometown guy, but I just don't see it. For me, I think Kansas City's defense is just top tier. And that's the reason why their games are so low scoring. And their offense hasn't necessarily been firing on all cylinders. But Andy Reid's sneaky, man. Let me tell you. There's a reason why, that Mahomes has 3 Super Bowls. There's a reason why he's 3-time Super Bowl MVP. And even though this isn't the Super Bowl, he knows how to get to the show and he knows how to win. Unless he's going against Tom Brady, then he doesn't win. But I have a feeling that we're going to see a lot more DeAndre Hopkins. We're going to see a lot more Xavier Worthy. We're going to see probably dual running backs. We're going to see Hunt and Pacheco, and then they're kind of going to be bringing out all the stops and all the trick plays and anything they can. And Travis Kelce scored a touchdown last week, and Swifty's going to be there, and that's also why I think they're going to win is because they're funneling that money, dude. The Swifties are going to just make the Super Bowl into just this large, marketable enterprise, I guess, and that's just how I truly feel, and I think that's why they won. With the refs' help, of course. I think we've all pretty much established that that's what's going to happen. But X, go ahead and give us your Bills take and why you think Josh Allen can single-handedly beat Mahomes and the refs.
I think it's going to happen because I think right now the NFL is catching a lot of heat because the Chiefs last game took a safety, screwed over a bunch of betting, like a lot of bets. Obviously, they took that safety pretty intentionally. It looked that way. So a lot of people were screwed out of betting for that. And I think the NFL is catching a lot of heat for it. Do I think the Chiefs are a good team? I think the Chiefs are in a similar situation as the Buffalo Bills, where they have a superstar quarterback and no receivers. I do like Worthy. I like Worthy a lot. I love DeAndre Hopkins. But at the end of the day, are you going to really put up a washed up, well, I'm not going to say washed up, but an old DeAndre Hopkins up against a top tier receiver? No, you're not. You're not going to put Worthy up there. Kansas City's backfield is a mess. Cook does okay for the Bills. I feel like they're both in similar situations, but I feel like the NFL, I am a conspiracy theorist when it comes to the Chiefs. I feel like the NFL is going to get its greedy, nasty, dirty hands in that game. And I think they're going to make an upset to shut up a lot of NFL fans.
That safety was atrocious.
Questionable.
I got nothing much about this game. Chiefs are the Chiefs. They do what they do against the Bills in playoffs.
And that's fair.
That's about it.
Yeah, I mean, I do think that's fair. I do think we will see. My personal thing is I think I predicted Philly Chiefs. That was right. Did I predict that? Okay. It's on. I just wanted to, add a little extra, a little extra there. Just, I guess I know a little bit about something. Honestly, it's mostly luck because who would have known that the Lions were going to lose? That's crazy.
Yeah.
But, so this last part, I know this episode is actually surprisingly kind of short. So that's kind of nice, I think, for everybody. The listeners, for us, for me, not so much editing. But I do want to share with you guys, where's my phone? Some of the crazy things that I heard from a delusional Cowboys fan. And I kind of just wanted to get your take. Because, I mean, right now, we just already said Ben Johnson got hired. And the Lions defensive coordinator got hired. So the current bets that I have right now with him is if Dion gets signed to the Cowboys, that their team is going to be 14-3. And that is his bet that he bet me for lunch. What are your thoughts on that? I mean, I think this is pretty.
I can't even comment on the full stupidity that's going on there. Like, I mean, like, bro, all I'm gonna say is your job gives you 4 free counseling sessions with a mental health specialist. You should probably use those. Okay, just let them know. Whether they watch football or not, they're gonna probably know that what that bet is just not true at all. So use those days. Use your personal development days. Use your mental health days.
There you go.
You generate sick time. Feel free to just take a couple days off. Really just reevaluate your life, where you went wrong. And, I wish the best for you, brother. I really do. I really
Colby,
do.
As a Cowboys fan yourself, I call you a closet Cowboys fan because you weren't willing to tell me you're a Cowboys fan.
Yeah, I'm currently in the process of being traded. So the agent's talking to a few teams right now.
Oh,
working out some
good to know.
numbers.
I mean, you are closest to Kansas City, so I'm surprised you're not a Chiefs fan. I mean, you
Yeah,
might
I
as well
can't
just
do
jump
that.
on the bandwagon.
Can't do it. Can't do it. But no,
What is your thoughts on the Dion and the Cowboys being 14-3 with Dion?
14-3. I mean, they're going to play the Commanders and Eagles twice, so there's 4 losses already.
yeah.
And then you're not counting 4, 5 max games that they throw or just do something stupid to lose. So yeah,
Yep.
I mean, it'd be cool, it'd be nice, but I think they'll lose more than 3 for sure.
Like I said at the beginning, if you haven't already, please like and subscribe. If you want to see what we have going on, check out www.EncinasUnfiltered.com. We got 3 different shows. As of watching this now, you only got 1 more episode left. We have the Super Bowl episode, so we won't be filming next week because it's a Pro Bowl. No one wants to talk about touch football. Okay, there's no point. So we'll have a little week hiatus, and then we'll get into the Super Bowl. Well, maybe not Colby, but maybe X and I might do a little live stream. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I'll host the Super Bowl. We'll see. I don't know what I'm doing. But until next time, everybody. Colby, X, thanks for coming on.
Yours.
Sir.
Peace.
Later.